Hi, fellow traders. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you wrapped it up and finished strong. Man, I hope they wrap this election up because it's messing with my swing trades. I can't justifiably take swing trades and hold overnight when I don't know. Well, tonight the market may be up. I may wake up tomorrow it's gapped down. Next day it's gapped up. All hinging on the outcomes of these elections. I'd hoped everything would be wrapped up by Friday. I knew this probably would last a run past Tuesday, but I figured by Friday people would have this thing figured out or either have some type of definitive call on who's going to win. But at this point, I don't care who wins. I just need it to be done so that I can get back to work. And, that's my frustration. But hopefully they'll get it situated. Everything will be wrapped up and we can get our swings back going. The only swing I've got going on is the one that I had last week, or the week before this past week, and I didn't really touch it. I'm just holding on. It reports earnings on Monday, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. But some of you guys asked me about the books I read. And I'm not a big fan of trading books and teaching you how to trade. I think trading books have their place. I think they're great if you use them the right way. They are there to introduce you to the world of trading, to get you to understand everything that you're going to need to have in place and the skills that you're going to need to develop, what's important, what's not. A good trading book is going to tell you all of that stuff. Like my good friend Andrew at AverageJoeTrader, he's got a couple of good trading books that gives you all of that good foundation and everything. And he'll be the first to tell you execution is a mental skill. Being able to execute your trades is 99% mental and 1% physical. And that 1% physical is your ability to move your arm and your hand and click a mouse button. But everything else is mental. So that's why, learning the strategies, I say, is always really simple. It's learning how to execute them in a hostile environment is where the real challenge is. And so I work on my mind game all the time. So all of the books I read is about helping me strengthen my mind. And the one that I'm looking at this month is Win in the Dark. And I read these books 4 or 5 times every month. The month that I'm focusing on it. And sometimes I'll go back and reread a part of it when I need some refreshing. But it's just like when you watch a movie, typically you don't catch everything the first or the second or the third time you watch the movie. It's the 4th or the 5th time that you're able to put all of these moving parts together. Because some things you just miss as mundane details is probably a key element to a plot. And you really don't pick it up until you watch it a couple of times and you're just like, oh, how did I miss that? And that's kind of how it is with these books. But, Win in the Dark, some think you shine under the bright lights, but bright lights only reveal your work in the dark. My mind immediately went to that movie Friday Night Lights that highlighted high school football. And on Friday night, under the lights, that's where the game is played. But all you see is the finished product. You see guys going out there, executing plays, playing football, having a good time. But you don't see what they do behind the scenes. The hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears they put in, how they tear their bodies down and build them back up so that they're at their peak on Friday nights under the lights. You don't see that. And it's the same thing in trading. Now, when I was learning how to trade, I spent hours every night in the dark watching the market replay simulator and practicing my trading. Every night, I spent hours doing it. And most people would not have seen that. Now, I would tell people that. Some people would blow it off like, yeah, whatever. But that's how I got to where I got as fast as I got there. Because I put in, I didn't just put in the work, I put in that focus work. I put in time on what was the most important for me, in my development and in my growth. And I did that all in the dark. Most people will never really see that work. And like I said, they undercut you. They may call you an overnight success. Or they may say, look, you did something and it worked a couple months and now you want to teach people. I mean, yeah, you have those people. I mean, but when you do this day in and day out for months on end, people calling you an overnight success or that you are abnormally talented or lucky, they don't understand. They don't realize that the talent part of it is only the beginning. It's where you start. They don't realize that talent is overrated, to be honest with you. How many high school players are so talented that they rise above everybody else? When they get to college, they get to D1 ball, everybody there is about as talented as you are. And you have to go to work. And a lot of these guys just can't cut it. Sometimes talent is more of a curse than a blessing because they never developed the mindset, the work ethic, that grit. They never really developed that. So behind every so-called overnight success, there are thousands of unseen hours, hundreds of unseen hours, thousands of unseen hours, training, failing, and growing in the dark. You learn wisdom and usable knowledge firsthand through years of success and failure. That's what I'm bringing to the table. All of my years of successes and failures, my firsthand knowledge of how to grow yourself out of your 9-to-5 job and become a full-time trader and run your own trading business. And that's basically what we do. So like I said, it's not the physical aspects, it's the mental aspects. The true demons and thieves of our dreams, our hopes and dreams, are the mental ones that we face in the dark that chokes out our potential. The dark is where you confront that little voice in your head trying to convince you that you're no good, that you're not smart enough, that you'll not make it, and that you're going to be exposed as somebody that's just weak. The dark is where you feel like you're alone in your struggles, that nobody's there to help you and nobody understands what you're going through and what you're dealing with. And you start believing those destructive thoughts and questioning your decision to start trading in the first place. The dark is where all these guys, these doubters and these haters that really don't understand why you want to do what you want to do. The dark is where you realize that confidence comes and goes. And it shifts with the wind. That if you don't have a process or a plan in place, that confidence can come and go. But that conviction, that authentic conviction, what you develop, is forged in fire. And we all know when you forge something in fire, it becomes extremely hard. So the dark is where you give your everything. And sometimes you think, hey, my everything isn't enough. But the majority of this journey And this darkness is psychological, it's emotional, and it's even spiritual, that a lot of people on the outside just can't understand. All right, some people will never you could tell them till you're blue in the face, but unless they're in the trenches with you, in the dark with you, they just don't understand. And that's even with some of the traders that you may talk to. Some of them may have been born into money, and they've never had the struggles that you've had, and they'll never be able to understand you. And so, it's tough, but we have to navigate in the dark. The work that we put in the dark is what helps us to get to that next level. And that's what those bright lights, reveal. The bright lights only reveal the work that you've done in the dark. Okay, it doesn't you don't shine, you're highlighted. And what's highlighted is that work. So the book, Win in the Dark, that's what I'm reading this month. So if you guys pick it up, if you get the audio book or you find a PDF online and you read it, let me know what you think. All right, so today, PTON was an awesome trade. It was an awesome trade. I thought I heard somebody knocking on the door. But this was an opening range breakout. And now here's the thing. All of those hours that I put in working on my craft, learning the strategies, trying to understand how to execute in different trading environments, and learning how to identify the setups and all of that stuff. One of the things you see is that the setup is going to be the same. Like on an opening range breakout, you draw the opening range high and you look for the breakout over the high. You buy the breakout. It's that simple. If it breaks down, you short the breakdown. And you look for profit targets. So in this case, here's the breakout, first profit target, red to green. Or did I sell past that? I might have sold past that. What was my first? I think I held through that. Oh, you know what happened? Here's what happened. I just looked at my sheet. I was supposed to be selling here, but I accidentally bought. Instead of selling 2/3, I actually bought 2/3 because I clicked cover 2/3 versus sell 2/3. So I actually added here. And then I went ahead and took, this would have been my second target. I went ahead and took 2/3 of my position that I built off on my first target, where my second target would be. And I just kept going from there. My third target was going to be, or my final target was going to be 130. But I was able to, clean up a little bit more money here. Actually got all the way up to 131 before it started to pull back. And so it pulled back. I added, got back in full size, and started taking profit again. And finally I added again. I never did clear out my whole position. I added again, but once we started losing grip, I ended up taking it off, and I figured, hey, that was it. We were done for the day. I rarely add. This is something that I'm going to start looking at doing going into next year. Adding on a pullback. If I have like my 50 shares or whatever, when it pulls back and it bounces, just add back in full size and, trade the bounce. And that's basically what I did here. Was able to pick up a decent profit today. 1081.67. And I remembered yesterday. Yesterday I traded. That's right. I didn't get to do a video yesterday. I traded. Oh shoot, I can't remember now. Was it QCOM? Yeah, QCOM. And I had I think I was up to like $800 or $900 is what I could figure. And then I took 2 trades after that. I didn't stop. And I ended up giving back half. I only ended up making like $400 or some dollars. I mean, really frustrating. Really, really frustrating. So I wasn't going to do that today. I'm like, look, I'm done. I got a nice move. The market's probably going to be iffy. So I walked away from it and locked in 1081.67 and went on about my merry way. Now I had a student that I mentor send me this, and they were really upset and really frustrated because it was like I took the opening range setup just like you taught. We had the break of the opening range, and it failed. I got in and it stopped me out, and then it eventually took off. And so, it was upset, and I'm like, look, this is why we trade over and over and over again. This is why we do the same thing every time, because we're able to see, hey, we've got an identical setup, 5-minute opening range breakout. We've got identical setup, but the result, the stocks didn't trade the same. We got the same end result with the stock breaking out, but our trade result were different. The overall move happened. It just didn't happen when we wanted it to. We can't quit. If we take this trade and it doesn't work out, and technically the trade is still showing to be in play, we got to take it. And we have to understand this is support. And it's typically, you're not going to get a stock to lose support like this. So we have to stay engaged. The trade is still in play. But unfortunately, got stopped out. Never did try it again. And, left the day sour. What it did, it hurt his confidence. Whereas all week, he been doing well. Every opening range breakout trade that he took this week worked. And today, this one just didn't work. And this one trade crushed him. This is why doing all of that work in the dark is going to help you understand. Doing the mental work, the grit work, and understanding that trades are not going to work every time. I don't care how perfect it is. It's going to allow you to be able to look at your week. Look at your entire week and understand, where you are for that week. Not versus that one day. Don't let that one day or 2 days affect you. That's what this is about. So take a look at, this is my week, this week. I had one bad day on Tuesday. Monday was a struggle, until we caught some trades later on. But I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I didn't give in. I just hit the reset button. Came back, did the same thing I did every day, and come out with $4,753. I mean, I made $4,900 last month, all of last month. So basically, you erase this day. If this day is green, I made more this week than I made all last month. And it's going to be that way. Next week, I might be red. I might be red the next 2 weeks. But at the end of the month, I'm more than likely going to be green. And my account is going to grow. My equity curve is going to continue going up. And so you guys have to understand that. That's where the mental game comes in. Not letting one bad trade destroy your whole week. And this is good. This is perfect. All right. This stop out was perfect. It broke the low. Once he broke the low of this candle, he was out. It's a perfect stop. So you executed 100% A+. There's no reason for you to lose on confidence on something like this. This happens every freaking day. This may happen to you 3 or 4 days in a row. You guys have seen firsthand this happened to me 3 or 4 days in a row. It's going to do that. All right, but I'm not going to let it kill my confidence. I'm going to keep coming. I may curse the market, but I'm going to keep doing my thing because I know it's going to come back around full circle, and I'm going to have money in my pocket at the end of the day. So that's the key, guys. All right, that's the key. So one more thing. PRTS, this is the one that I was swinging. You see I got in back here week before last. We had the pullback. Damn if it didn't come so close to taking me out. The stop on this was 12. Was just under 12. We came so close to getting knocked out. And look, it ripped back up. It did take me green for a quick minute. We had a gap down day today. But again, earnings on Monday. I'm expecting this to gap up on earnings. So we'll see. If not, I'll just have to take a hit. Same hit I took on EA. So not every trade is going to work. EA was the setup. Everything kind of fell into place. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. So we move on. For that one that didn't work out, I've got 5 that I've done previously that has worked out and I made money on. So I'm in a good place. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap it up. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. I'll see you guys, the swingers, on Sunday morning. We'll build a watch list, but it's going to be contingent on what happens throughout the weekend and what's on deck for Monday. But we'll talk about all of that Sunday. We'll dig all into that and come up with the game plan for next week for our swing trade. So you guys be safe, and I will catch you Sunday or Monday.